Hey everybody, welcome back to another live feed of Independence Titles Town Hall. We are going to be joined here by my friend Chris. I'm going to bring him on here from Gold Star Mortgage. We're going to ask him a couple questions about the market, what's going on in the mortgage market. I've known Chris for quite some time, and just kind of get a perspective from the mortgage side of how things are, because I can tell you all day long about the title side, but unless we bring on someone from the mortgage side to hear, you may not believe me. So, Chris, welcome to the call today.
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, trying to give out money every day, help a new client, at least one new client every day.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
You got it.
We'll keep him busy.
No, I mean, everything is on our side. We are still busy. Purchases are still closing. Refinances are still closing. Rates are moving. So, I mean, the market is strong. So now it's a matter of, getting that confidence back out there to keep people moving.
Absolutely. Awesome. So I've known Chris for quite some time. I met Chris. We've done a couple of deals over the years. Unfortunately, Chris doesn't get to use me that often because he does a lot of Palm Beach business. And for those of you that know, Palm Beach County picks the title company. The seller usually picks the title company. So when Chris is doing the mortgages for the buyer, he doesn't get to select our company. But occasionally we get a Broward deal here and there where we're the title company, and usually works pretty smooth. Gold Star is a great company. We've done a lot of business with them over the years, so we highly recommend them. So let's talk a little bit about well, first tell everyone a little bit about you, how long you've been doing this, just so they kind of get to know you a little bit.
Well, I've been in this business now 20 years. I started in the back end in compliance and worked my way around, and I've been branch manager for Gold Star for the past 10 years. We are a lender based out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. My branch is in Wellington. We have a few branches down here in the South Florida area as well, both East and West Coast. So we're able to service the entire state and also the country at least.
Absolutely. Thank you. So how are the rates going now? I know a couple of weeks ago they were super, super low. They ticked up a little bit, but how are the rates been?
So, I mean, we saw an improvement today. And I mean, honestly, I've been watching, I mean, just looking at things today, we're seeing some improvement. Mortgage-backed securities are up 30 basis points, which what that means when the price of that is up, rates are down. And, we had a couple of days there where the price went way down and it pushed rates way up, where our lock desk really just shut down for the day because the instability in the marketplace. From our side of it, I mean, we are seeing some things, and I hate to, knock on wood, but we are seeing some things settle. Could we see it come lower? Yes. But it's really getting the panic out of the marketplace. I mean, markets are strong. And I mean, when you're seeing rates in the 2s and low 3s on a long 30-year fix, that's free money. But rates are low. I mean, we have seen them come down this week. They went up, they're down, up, down. So, I mean, really, it's trying for the consumer, catching it on its lowest point.
Awesome. So now's the time. We did a video yesterday. We were talking about, the fear factor that people are watching the news and, feeding into the fear, but we still see agents are doing deals. Investors are doing deals. The banks are still lending money. Maybe which we could talk about in a second here, the restrictions that Chase put in. That's the biggest hype now. Everyone's talking about the restrictions that, Chase put in, requiring, I think, a certain credit score or down payment. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Chase on their own end put out 700 score with 20% down. That is not industry wide. That's them making their own statement. That doesn't really have an impact on the rest of us. I mean, on the conventional loans, you're still looking 620 score. FHA loans, FHA really on a fear cycle. You've seen scores move up, and then we've started to see some release on that side of it as well. Same with VA. And it's the same thing on the rates for FHA and VA. We've seen some reprieve coming back down on that. So what Chase did is that's on them, but the rest of the industry has not followed suit in that.
All right, so you can still get someone a great rate, not having to put 20% down. It's not something that everyone should start being scared of.
Not at all. I mean, rates in the 3s on 3% down on a conventional loan is still there, and buyers are still happy jumping at properties.
All right, so we have a question here. from Andrew talking about thoughts about smaller mortgage servicers and liquidity.
So, and I was just on a call about that. Some of the servicers, yeah, there is the fear about the liquidity there because of, and that part of the conversation about the forbearance of the deferments, because that does eat into their cash cycle, and that was a big fear, which is what caused some rates to go up, because you had the investor portfolio side of it saying, wait a second, if we don't get any relief in this stimulus package, you're going to put us out of business, meaning the government. So there is, are they completely liquid? No. But I mean, smaller servicers, they are still around. They have slowed on buying some paper, but there are still plenty of servicers out there. And I think more servicers are going to pop up, or companies pop up to service the loans, because there is the advantage there.
And we talk about this forbearance, or they give you 3 months. Do you have any ideas of what they're saying as far as, if someone were to make an arrangement to stop making their mortgage payment for 3 months, there's fear that they're just going to tack on the full balance on month 4, or are they spreading it out over time, or have they not really decided yet?
So every servicer is different. And that's where you have to read the fine print and figure out what they're offering you, because are they deferring it? It is possible. I don't want to say yes, they are, but it's read the fine print. What exactly are they offering? Today, a true forbearance is a delayed payment. So, I mean, I recommend, from my side of it, it's only for those that really need it. It is not a time off plan to where they're going to attack it at the end of the loan, like a car payment where they have the ability to do it. A mortgage, you have your fixed terms there where that note is due on a certain day. Most forbearance, what we're seeing is 3 months, and it's due on the 4th month. After the 3rd month, or in the 3rd month, the servicer is saying, if you're still out of work, call, and they can continue to work the arrangement out. And then obviously, if they continue to get worse, then they're going to be looking at doing different modifications, things like that. But servicers are doing everything possible to prevent any type of crisis that we went through back in 2008 and 2009. We don't want to see a housing crisis, and they stepped up this time. And same thing from our underwriting standpoint. We're doing more verifications to prevent a housing crisis and crash and just give anybody a loan, which is what was happening before. So now they've really stepped up to say, look, we want to do everything to prevent you from losing your house.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, we know that if we got further down into the worst case scenario, they may start tacking it on, but I don't think they're there yet. That's what they did years ago. And it doesn't really do anyone any good. It just causes more problems. So we've always encouraged people, pay your rent, pay your mortgage payment, do everything you can possibly do to pay those big bills. I'd sooner rather see someone make an arrangement with maybe their FP&L company or cell phone company before they start making deals with their mortgage and stuff.
Exactly.
Awesome. So now let's switch a little bit. We talked a little bit about mortgages. Let's talk a little bit. So if you look at your website here, I'm going to put it up here. You have a huge team. Talk a little bit about you, your company. Let the viewers know what motivates Chris when you get up in the morning. What motivates you to do deals?
I mean, this team here that you're looking at, I mean, we pride ourselves on helping new people. Every single person has their own unique situation, and we treat that situation like gold. And it's honestly because we want to make sure that somebody, whether it's purchase or refinance, or even if they're in credit trouble, we're going to evaluate it and see what needs to be fixed. And I mean, from the first conversation all the way through closing, and we form long-term relationships with these individuals, and they're not just a number or a loan number. We do welcome them in after our closings. We say, welcome to the Gold Star family, because we feel it is one big family. We're bringing people in, and we want them to know everything that's going on through the process. Like I said, about credit, we pull somebody's credit and it's not where it needs to be. We're going to work with them, run the credit simulators to see what needs to be done to fix that credit and improve the score, because your cell phone bills, your car insurance rates, those are all based on credit, and we want to help them improve it. It's not just, well, there's some number hanging out there over their head. And then with the team, some of the team members here, they're real estate agents and loan officers. So with our industry, we are able to have both originators and real estate agents on the team. Now, obviously, a real estate agent can't write government loans and be the real estate agent on that type of transaction. But everybody here, some have been in the business for a long time, some have not. And that's where we want to, young or old, we want to help them succeed through the business. Myself, my partner Rob Cron in our branch, we both been in the industry for, I've been 20 years. Rob is right behind me on that. We started with the company at the same time. We've been working together as partners since 2006. So we have the close knit bond there. And I mean, the branch has been in Wellington, like I said, since 2010. And I mean, we really have a close knit family. Not the biggest team, but not the smallest out there.
It's okay. You do the right thing for people. That's all that really matters. I know Chris through the Indian Princess program, which is dads and daughters go camping. Yes, in Florida, we still have camping. We still go camping. And I have always said any father that I know that makes the commitment of being in that program is just a great person. So, I definitely know you're trustworthy. So, we're looking at going through, obviously, this crisis. We're looking at all these healthcare professionals and they're being called superheroes. And I look at our industry as the same thing. Like sometimes you just, you get faced with challenges and you have to just be a superhero. So let me ask you the question. If you had one superpower, what would it be?
To be honest, mine, and just thinking about that, I think it'd be time travel. And being able to jump forward and back in time to figure out, okay, if, like crisis that we have now, what do we need to solve that? So I could speed up and then jump back in time there, or even just for the pleasure of going way back in time or way forward in time to see how things are. But I mean, in times now where we need stuff, I think being able to forecast, kind of like Marty McFly's sports book, just being able to see what's to come and be able to tackle those things as they come at us.
All right, so I have two more questions for you. So let's just predict. And obviously, we don't have a crystal ball, but I love doing some predictions. So let's predict we're sitting here 12 months from now. Where do you see the market? What do you see, maybe something you'd like to accomplish if we're looking back at this video in 12 months from now and you say, you know what, I knew it. What would that one thing be?
I think the market's going to be strong as ever. And I think with the steps that are being put in place right now, it's to keep this market going. I mean, we've had a good ride at this market the past few years. There's a lot of buyers still coming out of the woodwork today looking for properties, and young and old. And it's right now, people can't go anywhere, so we are seeing them save a bit more money. But we are seeing a lot of activity. And I mean, with rates where they're at, people are bringing those payments down. Yes, they're taking some cash out, doing a lot of home improvements, but 12 months from now, I think we're going to have a stronger market than what we had at the beginning of this year, which was very strong.
Awesome. Last question I have for you before we tell viewers how they can get a hold of you. You have any favorite quotes of yours that you like to throw out there?
There's always one. Success is never owned, it's rented, and the rent's due every day. We've got to get up every day and get.
Yeah, one of the things that keeps me going, I get up, I train with a U.S. Marine. I'm down 85 pounds from my heaviest, and I just train as hard as I can. I get up, and I tell people I do the same thing every day. It's one of those things, like people see me, I wear the same shirt, not the same shirt. It's a different, it's obviously clean, but I wear the same style of shirt, pants, socks, shoes every day. Sort of like Mark Zuckerberg, he talks about, he wears the same thing every day, so it's one less thing to think about. And then every day I go to bed and I just rinse and repeat. The next day I wake up and do the same thing. And obviously weekends are slightly different, but during the week, and my wife will be the first to say, I'm very routine based. And anytime I get out of my routine, I'm not a happy person. I love to just be in my routine, because that's what helps maintain my success and maintains the business that we have going. So thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy hopping on a bunch of calls and closing some loans. I appreciate you reaching out and getting on this call with me. How can users, I did put your website, your local lender here below. Is there any other way people can get in touch with you?
Best phone number is 954-993-5092, or right there on the website, and they can get me there.
Awesome. So thank you very much. I appreciate you joining us today. For those of you that are watching, we're going to be doing these every single day. We're going to try and bring on some powerful guests to hopefully add some value to your business, your life, while we're in this virtual world. So thanks for watching Independence Titles. town hall. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow with another great episode. Give us a thumbs up, share on social media, or shoot us a direct message if you'd like to see any certain guests on, or if you have any questions you would like answered. So Chris, again, thanks for coming on. Keep writing them loans, and I look forward to seeing you hopefully at a closing table once this opens back up again.
Thanks, Kevin. See you soon.
Have a great day, everyone.